Holi is literally one of the most colorful festivals in the world. It's a Hindu spring festival in India and celebrated in other parts of Asia, also known as the Festival of Colors or the Festival of Love. Holi signifies the victory of good over evil, the end of winter, and the start of spring, and it serves as a time for reflection, forgiveness, and renewal. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of FTD Facts. My name is Leroy Kenton, and in this episode I'm bringing you some interesting facts about Holi that will help you learn a little bit more about the festival, which is celebrated by millions of people around the world.
Now, I think Holi is amazing on screen. The problem that I had with it is that I had no clue what it's all about.
Now, if you do celebrate Holi, give this video a big thumbs up, and if this is your first time here to FTD Facts, hit that subscribe button and that bell notification so you don't miss any future videos like this. Okay, so let's begin with the facts. The festival of Holi has 2 days. It's a 2-day festival, and the first day is known as Choti Holi, and the second day is known as Rangwali Holi.
The entire city lights up with color. Just walking through the streets, I mean, it's a head trip just to think of that day in Holi.
So when we look at the word Holi, where does that name come from? So I was interested, so I did a little bit of research on this, and I found out that Holi comes from Holika, which is a sister of the demon king Hiranya Kashyap, and this is all from Hindu mythology. Well, when we look at the legend of Holi, the legend has it that Holika, the sister of this demon king, attempted to help her brother take his younger son Prahlad's life. It's said that Holika was blessed in a way where she couldn't even be hurt by fire. So she lured Prahlad on her lap and entered a huge bonfire. However, Prahlad, who was a devotee to the Lord Vishnu, broke Holika's spell on him by reciting the Lord's name and came out from the fire unburnt and just completely safe. Nothing was harmed on his body at all. But check this, he was able to escape the fire. However, Holika burnt up in the fire, and that's why Holi is celebrated.
A Holika bonfire is lit every year to remind us of the victory of good over evil. Holi is celebrated on the day after the bonfire.
And I guess you'll now see why I included this next fact. So Holi's celebrations start on the night before Holi with a Holika bonfire, where people gather around, they do religious rituals in front of the bonfire, and they pray that all of their sins are completely washed away as the bonfire begins. This is what happens on Choti Holi.
We usually see the bit where everyone throws paint at each other in films or like just in popular culture really. But the day before, there is this bonfire night, which is called Holika. So essentially they just build this bonfire and burn it. Holika, first of all, is the name of a sister of the demon king, whose name is Hiranyakashap.
Moving on to the second day of the festival of Holi, this is referred to as Rangwali Holi, and it's the main day when people play with wet and dry colors. Some of them come out with water guns, just to make things a little bit more fun, and they have balloons filled with colors, and they start water fights, balloon fights, all of that, and it just looks like so much fun. Like, I've seen this celebration in like Bollywood music videos and in movies. Like, I've seen people post photos, and I'm like, okay, you know what, I gotta do some Holi festivities today.
Just massive amounts of people throwing powder on each other.
This is the stuff right here.
Just completely overwhelming.
And yeah, that's one reason why I'm learning a bit more about the celebration, because I don't want to just show up and be like, okay, where the colors at? I want to at least know a little bit about the background of the festivals. But anyways, yeah, this is probably one of the most fun parts about the Holi festival, because people are covered from head to toe with all kinds of colors, and by the end of the evening, everybody looks completely unrecognizable.
So after a few hours walking around Rishikesh, quite easily managed to get my shirt covered
So you can see why the festival of Holi also goes by the name of the Festival of Colors. Now before I continue, just want to give you guys a heads up that we have a lot more videos about India and the Indian culture and history. As a matter of fact, I have a playlist that's gonna be in the card section of this episode, so you can check it out there. I'll also have a link to it down below in the video description, and then I'll post it also at the end of this episode. So you definitely want to check it out if you want to find out a lot more information about India, India's culture, the country on a whole, and some of the history. Now I did talk about some of the purposes of why the Holi festivals are celebrated. Most prominently, however, it celebrates the beginning of spring. In the 17th century literature, Holi was identified as a festival that celebrated agriculture, abundant spring harvest, and fertile land. Hindus believe that Holi is that time of year when people enjoy spring's abundant colors and say goodbye to winter. Yeah, that's what we should be doing up here in Canada. Like, it's snowing all day, every day. Oh my god. Anyways, now to many people, Holi actually symbolizes the beginning of the new year, and as a way of getting rid of the accumulated emotional impurities from the past. Very interesting way to look at this festival. Also, in some places like the Braj region near Mathura in northern India, Holi festivities sometimes last for more than a week, so not just 2 days. These celebrations go beyond playing with colors and include a day when men go around with shields and women get to actually beat their shields with sticks and other stuff, but like it's all for play. They're not like really trying to beat the men. Well, the tradition is known as Lathmar Holi, and in South India, some people worship and make offerings to Kamadeva, which is a love god of Indian mythology. Outside of Braj, in the Kanpur area, Holi lasts 7 days. On the last day, a grand festival called the Ganga Mela, or the Holi Mela, is celebrated. Now this Mela, or fair, was started by freedom fighters who fought against the British rule in the First Indian War of Independence in the year 1857 under the leadership of Nana Sahib. The Mela is held along the banks of the Ganges River in Kanpur, and this is all to celebrate the Hindus and Muslims who together resisted the British force in the city in the year 1857. On the eve of Holi Mela, all government offices and shops and courts are generally closed, and Holi Mela marks the official end of Holi in Kanpur. Holi is also popular for the consumption of a very intoxicating ingredient called Bhang. If you're not too familiar with what this is, well, this ingredient is mixed into drinks and sweets and is largely consumed by many during the Holi festival. Bhang is actually made from cannabis leaves, believe it or not, and it has been used in food and drink as early as 1000 BCE by Hindus in ancient India. So they had nothing going on with using cannabis back in the day, and yeah, it's still very popular now. Now the next thing I want to look at is what day Holi falls on every single year. Well, the date of Holi changes every year because, like the Chinese New Year on the Chinese lunar calendar, Hindus also use the lunar calendar. The West uses a solar calendar called the Gregorian calendar, and on the Gregorian calendar, Holi typically comes in March, but sometimes it falls in late February. The holiday occurs on the full moon before the spring or the vernal equinox, and in 2019, Holi will fall on March 20th and 21st. Okay, so those are your facts about Holi. I hope you really learned something interesting. I know for me this was like super fascinating because I've never explored this holiday before. I've only seen just the different colors and all of that, and I'm like, what is this? I gotta learn some of this. I gotta be part of this somehow. Anyways, let me know all your thoughts and comments down below. If there's anything that you wanted to see included in this episode, or any other facts or any interesting information about Holi, leave those down below as well. And be sure to follow me on social media. Those links are also in the video description, and shoot me a message and I'll be sure to do my best to respond as quick as possible. Until the next episode, my name is Leroy Kenton, and happy Holi. You probably may not be watching this on Holi, but when it comes, just happy Holi, okay? And if you don't celebrate it, just happy whatever. Just be happy. Anyways, later.
Happy Holi! Happy Holi! Let's go!
Hey, for everybody that made it to this end screen, here's a playlist of India that I was referring to where you can find out more about the country and its history and rich and diverse culture. If you also want to find out more information about different parts of the world, we have videos for that as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in another episode.